All right, what's going on? So this is the review of Cat Not Dog, and so this is Great White's wife, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, awesome. So I love that. First of all, you guys are husband wife playing the game. That's super cool. Okay, and she's sitting around 1100 here. So I'll kind of just do this replay as if it's her that I'm speaking to. So let's take a look, Cat. See what's going on here. We're gonna put you in blue. I don't know. For me, it's like blue is us, and red is enemy all the time. Easy to keep track. I'm playing as the Persians here. One from Arabia up against the Berbers. Let's take a look at what's going on here. First thing I like to point out is I like the scouting. I think your scouting is pretty solid. 6 on sheep. Okay, first major mistake. We're late on the sheep. Happens. You fix it. Oh, you fixed it beautifully. Very good. Honestly, very good. Super solid. Read a wood. I'm going to go for the boar. And I'm going to scout our opponent. Alright, cool. Excellent. I love these houses. Perfect part of a wall. Very good. Alright. Yeah, that was good. We're gonna go for the chickens first. 7 of them, so it makes sense to go for those. And also go for the second boar. And we're just scouting the map at the same time. I have no complaints here. I mean, I have small stuff like this village should be on this tree for like perfect efficiency, but that doesn't really matter. Idle time 0. Very good start. Alright, quite impressive on the Dark Age so far. Second mill. Usually you don't go for the second mill in Dark Age, and now we're starting to see some idle time, so maybe the last couple seconds has not been the best. Usually you don't go second mill in Dark Age though. You're able to do it now because you're Persians and you have like the extra 50 wood. But generally speaking, you would be able to afford it, kind of, but you'd not really want to go for that. You'd rather just like everything down onto the hunt, click up first, and then go to berries in Feudal Age. Usually a better way to go about it. But that's okay. It's kind of a small thing. Because the idea here is that we're going to be clicking up like what 19, 20 pop now. Normally you want to be up like latest at 20 pop. If you do any more than that, then we're looking at like kind of a fast castle build, which is maybe what you want to go for here. So if you're going for a fast castle build, this is fine. If you're going for a fast feudal build, this is quite slow. Let's see what you just had to do. Also, a little thing there, but this is a small thing, but it's worth mentioning. You see how these villagers, after they finish this this boar, half of them go here, half of them go here. I don't mind you doing that, but in this case, you don't have that many villas to do half and half, so just going on one would be better. And also, I really don't like that walking time. Those 4 villas, they just walked over there. It took them like 5 seconds to walk over and start killing the sheep. So just to put this in perspective, like villagers, every like, let's say every 3 seconds, it's 1 resource, okay? Per vill. So in the 6 seconds, let's just say, around at 6, it takes them to walk from here to here. That's 4 vills. Every 3 seconds, it's 1 resource. So it's 2 resources for 6 seconds per vill. So it's looking at 2 times 4. So we're down 8 resources just walking. I know it doesn't sound like much, but if you're doing like 8 resources walking time that are just lost into thin air, that's like something that really builds up over time. And you've done this a few times during the Dark Age where you're kind of like walking back and forth between animals. And so over the course of the Dark Age, you might lose like 100 resources, which in my opinion is a pretty big deal because that's like Persian bonus of plus 50 food, plus 50 wood. And if you're just losing it on inefficiency, it's really going to hurt your long term. So I'd really watch out like when it comes to things like that and try to make sure that your next sheep is right up next to the villagers. So as soon as they're done a boar, they just go right onto the sheep and don't have to walk like that. And that should be like a general rule that you always follow. Okay, so now you're going to go up again. This is very strange. We're doing 23 pop and we're also skipping loom. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that we skipped loom because we killed opponent's scout. If you thought of it like that, that's very smart. If you didn't think of it like that and you just skip loom because you always do, I'll say that's very risky to skip loom at 23 pop because it's a late uptime. And your opponent has a chance to kill 1 or 2 of your villas before loom comes in, okay? Just keep that in mind. Also, in general, we should be upping like at 20 pop if we're going to go for like a fast feudal age, which it looks like you're trying to do. So I would say your dark age is good, but just try to get up to the next age a little faster. One trick you can do is instead of doing 3 on wood initially, just do 2 on wood instead. And that way you can get more on food earlier, click up faster, and then you still end up with the same amount on wood for feudal age. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and set up our base. It's still unclear what you're going to go for. Probably just scouting around. The opponent also has some idle time here. He's a little slow himself. stable in the front. Cool. Maybe we can wall down here. This is an easy wall down here. Like this. You have a good setup? Yeah, lovely. Phenomenal, phenomenal. That's exactly what I want to see. Now we're going to start making some scouts. Okay, so in this case, if you're going to go for scout rush, highly recommend you pick up horse collar. It's just a good upgrade, especially if you're planning something like scouts to knights. Only time you skip horse collar is when you want to either, you're going archers, you don't want to replace your farms at castle age, or the second case is when you're trying to put a lot of pressure early on, but this is not the case because we're already having like a pretty late uptime. So definitely make sure to get the farm upgrade. And also you still don't have loom, which is super risky, so hopefully you don't get punished by that. Let's see your early game aggression. Nice. Yeah, don't commit. Beautiful. I love that. A lot of scout rating is like hitting and then running when they react. Okay, there you could have done a bit more. Nice. Good. Hit him, hit him, hit him. Okay. Not bad, but I think we can be a bit sharper there. Alright, let's see what we do here. Okay, we could have killed that Vil. Not bad though. I like that you're running away from the spearman. That's pretty good. Okay, let me see if I can show you something. Let me see if I can explain something to you here real quick. It's gonna be hard because I don't actually have the game open. I'm just on capture age. Okay, what you want to do here? So what you did was you just right click the Vil. Fair enough. Like that's how you hit units. Okay, I understand. There's actually a really advanced trick you can do. Like this is what the pro players do. Basically, instead of just right clicking from far, you run your scouts. You're right clicking here. So you right click here, and then when you're on top of the Vil, like you're just surrounding it, then you right click it. And then you right click it, then you right click move to where it's going, and then you right click it again. If you do that, you're going to be like, everything hits the Vil, then it moves a little, you move with it, hit again, everything hits the Vil right away. And you don't have this idea where they chase the Vil to get their hits. Let's watch what you did again. So again, you see how you right click it, it runs away. If you just ran through it, ran past it, you'd be able to hit on top of it here, then walk up with it, hit it again with all three scouts, and then do the same thing and you'd be able to kill it. Because you just right clicked it, look how they hit once and then they kind of like lag behind a little, then they bump on each other and you're missing like 4 hits to kill that one. So that's kind of something, it's again, it's a little hard to explain, but if you're able to try that out, like run through the Vil, right click it once when you're on top of it and then follow it. Sometimes you even trap the Vil, it's very, very effective. So again here, you see how they hit and then they have to like lag behind. You're not really getting enough damage on it. Yeah, so again, that's another Vil you could have killed. We have to work on that scout fighting. Over here, we might kill a Vil. My goodness, this guy's like a defensive genius. What's going on here? Alright, nice. We got a Vil kill. And you're doing a really good job of keeping your scouts alive for the most part. Like, we lost a couple, but we traded for a Vil. I like this. Take a look at your economy really fast behind this. And yeah, some issues here. So what's the issue here? Well, the issue is we have 14 on wood, and we don't want 14 on wood because your gather point from the TC was going to wood. What you want to do instead is put the gather point always on straggler trees, and when you look back to your base, just farm with your straggler tree Vils. Very simple. So you put like 5 Vils here, like as many as you want. Then you look back and you start farming, and then when you're done that farming cycle, then you just go to gold, and then you're ready to for castle age in no time. What's gonna happen here? You put them all to wood. It's very hard to like take Vils from wood and make farms. Yeah, so all that walking time we talked about earlier, walking time is bad. So all that walking time, it's gonna really hurt your economy. And then even worse, if you just leave them on wood, you're gonna start floating a lot of wood, which is inefficient. Wood on its own does nothing. It's only meant to be spent to develop your base. Okay. All right. Going around here. Yeah, this guy, it's a waste, but honestly, like, you've been pretty good at not wasting, so I'm not going to be too harsh on you with that one. Again, another build you could have definitely finished off. Let's watch that one again. It's really important that we're finishing off these builds, because again, it's the difference between killing 3-4 builds and killing, like, none. So, let's take a look again. So, look how you hit this build. Okay, let's just see again. Hold on. You're going to right-click the build from far like you always do. Alright? And this is normal, again. Most people do this. Look at, very important, look how you hit that Vil with one scout and it runs back to the base. Instead, all 4 scouts should run right here behind the villager and then trap it. And that way you're going to kill it so fast. Because look at this. You hit it from behind and you're going to hit it and chase it towards the TC, but now he's in a good spot. Let's watch that back one more time. Very important. So look, you hit it from the front. If you just went from the back, right here and then hit the Vil, you'd force it to run upwards away from the TC, and you'd be able to kill it. And again, if you do my trick, which you run up to it, trap it, hit all at once, then it moves up top. You move your scouts. When they're reloading their shot, you're moving, and then you hit it again, and then it dies, and then you just leave. All right. And if this is not clear, I'll show it to you in a video. Maybe after this game, I can show it to you actually. So again, you hit it towards the TC, and you're not able to kill the Vil. It's another Vil we couldn't kill. Another scout waste. It's like it's okay. Like your rush is decent. Like you have a lot of good things going, but definitely have to learn how to lock down these kills. That's like the main thing from the scout rush. Horse collar comes in better late than never. Fair enough. I thought you were gonna snipe the low HP Vil there. I was like, holy, that would be crazy. There's a lot of low HPs because like we've just been touching up the Vils but not finishing them off. Oh, that was really good. They lost the scout, but I respect that. And again, another low HP Vil. This one. No. Oh, yeah. This is a huge problem actually. You gonna go back for it? Yeah, this is our problem. Like we're not actually finishing off builds. Like that was an excellent scout rush, in a lot of ways, and then it just ended up doing very little because we weren't able to finish off those kills. If you finished off all those kills, this game would be over. He'd be down like 5 Vils, on top of him already being down 8 Vils. So yeah, it would be completely GG. But yeah, anyway, still a successful scout rush. I love that we have the full walls behind it. 2 stables already set up. Now what I want is get the castage faster than your opponent and kill it with knights. In my opinion, you should all in at the start of castage every time. Literally just go like 3 stables, just spam all in, knights, and just go for the kill. You just do that until you get better and until you're able to do like the first 20 minutes of the game properly and as good as possible. You're gonna just get so much better as a player just going for those all-ins. And it looks like you might be doing that. The 3rd stable setting up. Oh, 4th stable, that's too much. Damn, I said all in, you took it to the next level. So again, you notice how we're always floating a little bit of wood. This is because we had too much on wood early. And cast time is a bit delayed. You can get faster than this, believe it or not. But still, like I like that you have 8 on gold here. This is phenomenal. Stone gate, fair enough. Normally I wouldn't advise to do that though. Just because now you don't have the stone for the TCs, but that's okay. At this point, by the way, like on the way up, I would like take a few off wood and make farms with them because I want more food and more gold than wood. Like again, wood does nothing. Like look at your wood; it's not going to do anything. Okay, you make a TC. Okay, fair enough. So then if you make the TC, you don't need 4 stables. Maximum. If you make a TC, like maximum 2, to be honest. Maybe 3. But 4 is too much if you're planning to add a TC. So like, this is just like you're in between 2 strategies. Like this looked like an all-in, and then you add a TC. Oh, all of a sudden we can't really all-in anymore, which is weird. Because now the TC is going to sap a lot of our resources. And the all-in's not going to be as strong. But anyway, we're going to pressure with some knights. Good micro so far. Opponent's going CA. Normally always get armor before attack, by the way. I have 2 attacks, 0 armor. It should be the opposite. You should get armor first, then attack. I'll explain why. Basically, a knight. You have 1 knight. He can only hit once every few seconds, right? But he can take 20 arrows at the same time if your opponent's on archers. And he can take multiple hits at the same time, which is why it's much better to get the armor upgrade on the melee units. The example here, the knight will hit the cavalry 1 time every few seconds. The CA will hit the knights multiple times every few seconds because there's multiple units. That's why the armor is more important. There's another reason as well, but that's like the main one. Stone mining can add a range. Get loom now. Thank God we didn't get punished for that. I don't know if I like the range. I guess you want like yeah, I guess you want like skirms. But like in my opinion, at like the lower levels and like not pro level, like at pro level knights never beat CA, but at the lower levels, like anything below like 1800, I would say, I think you could probably get away with just spamming knights only, and maybe even mixing in a few camels, and you'll be fine. Especially if you do like raids like this. Yeah, this is fantastic. So I'm not sure if I like the skirm switch too much here. I think I'd rather just see you on cavalry pure and just raiding and trading your knights for enemy fills and whatnot. This is very good. Again, no armor, so you're actually dying very fast here. Like, you should never lose that many knights in these raids. Now you have a massive build lead. You can make a castle. You're gonna go for the forward castle? We have to defend this. Oh no, we're gonna lose the game here. Yeah, so, okay, if you watch my Patreon video, you'll know that before going for forward castle, you have to spam your resources on military. So you haven't been producing knights, but you have the resources for knights. So you should have just made like 8 knights here, like easily. And if you had 8 knights here, you'd easily win this fight. All right. Also, you made a scrim switch, but you don't have any upgrades on them. Like no fletching, no armor, no ballistics, nothing. So like in this case, again, this is why I don't like switching switching units like this, because then you're getting into like another unit that's unupgraded, which feels really weird. Because I'd rather just have an extra 2 knights, 3 knights than these unupgraded scrims. They don't do very well. So if you're gonna make a transition, I think you need to get all the upgrades. And if you're not ready to do that, your economy is not set up, then just don't make the transition. And yeah, definitely before going for forward castle, you have to spam all your resources into military to defend your forward castle. And if you did that, you can even go more forward, like right here, and win the game. So in my opinion, that was like the difference between winning this game and actually throwing it. We get it up in the end, which is the only reason we're able to still play. If we didn't get it up, we'd probably just lose. Darren. Oh, that's not good at all. Yeah, I think your like game knowledge kind of capped out at like the feudal age. You're doing really good. Castle age, you started to make some really questionable decisions. So it's hard to like. I don't want to give you too much information. I can just like obviously point out everything. But a very simple thing is don't mix so many units. Like again, like do you know what Darren does? It makes it so your crossbows don't cost gold. Okay, it costs only wood. Okay, that's what it does. Let's just think about it logically here. Why would we want that? So we spent money for that, and now we can't even make crossbows. We don't have the crossbowman tech. We don't want to spend only wood. Our wood is very low, and we don't have any upgrades on the archers. So we don't want to make crossbows in this situation. They're not like that good. We don't have wood to get that upgrade anyway. We don't want to spend money on that upgrade. We don't have upgrades on the archer line, and we don't have crossbowman tech. So like for 5 reasons, we don't want to get Darren here, and yet you picked it up. So my question is like why? Like what are you thinking in that moment that you say, okay, I want to pick this up? And if you're not thinking about it, then my advice is like, don't get stuff that you don't know what it does, and just focus on what you know will get you immediate results. Like for example, in this case, you're making camel. Just get the armor upgrade. All right? Because now you're gonna start making archers. You're not ready to start making archers. 1 range only. You know, you're mixing too much. So now I'm gonna run into a situation where we're just making the wrong units, and we're kind of mixing too many units that are unupgraded. Like this game was an easy win if you just stuck on knights, got all the upgrades, and just only made knights. It would be an easy win. And again, it's not like switching is bad, but if you switch, make sure you do it properly, get all the upgrades first. Don't mix too many units, like one, then switch to another, and that's enough. That kind of stuff. Alright, now we're mixing into, like, again, elephant, camel, skirm, archer. A lot of mixing going on. Oh my goodness. That's a good castle. Then look, you have the army to protect it, so it might... Oh, but hold on. Yeah, I think we kind of wasted the units a bit too fast. I was going to say, you had the army to protect it, so it should be good, but then we lost the army. And again, mostly because we don't have the armor upgrade. Yeah, I kind of got flustered a little here. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, like if I compare your feudal age with your castle age, your feudal age was much, much stronger. Castle age was a lot weaker compared to how good your early game was, which is normal. But it's definitely a point to improve. So what I want from you is I want to perfect that feudal age and then get a simplified plan for castle age initially. Just go all in knights and try to win the game like that. Until like imp, for example. But if you make a tech switch, just make sure you get all the upgrades on it. And you'll be golden. And now we're kind of like suffering because of how much damage we took. And just to put this in perspective, you have 8,000 more resources than your opponent, and yet you're still losing the game here. So just to put that in perspective, you could have clicked imp 4 times, or you could have clicked imp and had about 20 fully upgraded Savar, which would completely annihilate your opponent. So yeah, just think about like how you're wasting your resources, because right now I have 8k and yeah, they're wasted. I don't see them. So it's like it's either you made units and lost them, or you gambled them and lost. Can't gamble in AoE, so yeah, looks like you made units and lost them, which is not what we want to do. So yeah, you just have to be like very mindful of that. I felt like you were kind of making units for the sake of making them, and that kind of got you in a lot of trouble. It's not over yet 100%. Like we can maybe play, but it's still kind of close. But your opponent's gonna have imp now. Now you're gonna finally get all the upgrades on Kamandar and crossbows, and now it makes sense because now we have extra wood, so you're playing towards it, which is fair enough. But what I will say is that this is not even like your best unit as Persians. I know like people love it, this unit, because like, oh, it doesn't cost gold, it's so good. But like at the end of the day, if you only have crossbows, it's not the strongest unit ever. It's more of like a support unit to your cavalry, I feel like. But here it became our main unit real quick. Yeah. Opponent is raiding a little bit. Good defense to the raids. Right, maybe Imperial Age could be a good idea here. Yeah, Imperial Age. I like that you're massing your unit quite a bit now. Also, like, if you're gonna boom, yeah, more TCs, exactly. Like, oh, you really don't like spending your gold, eh? Yeah. Just fast forwarding, because a lot of stalling tends to be like that way when you're just waiting for technologies, and opponents are usually not that good at like pushing fast. Like in a pro game, this guy's already castle on this hill, like freaking 5 trebs here, and you just have no chance. But at lower levels, it tends to like stall out more, which is why comebacks are a lot easier to make happen. So in my opinion here, all you have to do is get to a good combo, a good comp, and you can actually still win this game. Feel like completely fine. You actually have more pop than your opponent, which is nice. So here, again, let's just get all the upgrades. So like, can we just simplify it for ourselves? So we want chemistry on these guys, and then last armor. All right, then these guys are fully upgraded. And then I want a melee unit. So you have a unit that costs no gold. Can we get a gold costing melee unit, and then a siege unit? So you have Treb, that's our siege unit. Perfect. And then I need a gold costing melee unit. So perfect example, heavy camo. Counters his units perfectly. And it works so well with the crossbows. If you go crossbow, full upgrades, heavy camo, full upgrades, get to 200 pop, game is over. And in the meantime, never stop making bills. That's just a rule you should always do. So that's what I want to see. Let's see if we go for that. Amazing. Also, no ballistics? My goodness. Do we have a university? We do have university. Kind of like me. You paid for university but never went to it. That's the problem. Yeah, I have to get university. So I have to get ballistics chemistry. Very important upgrades. Especially ballistics. Like, you can't hit shit without it. Look at that. We win this fight because he's engaging uphill. My goodness. This is a movie. Look at that. Continue fighting, you just hard win. And if you had ballistics, you would eat these fights as well. So, like, you're missing so many shots probably because of it. Alright. You do a good job mastering your army as well. So like the biggest mistake is that you're just doing too many different things at once. You're making the game way harder on yourself than it has to be. Also, how you want to take the fights is you just patrol with your backline. So backline patrols, and then your front line also patrols in front. And that's it. Like in late game, you don't really want to micro too much. The only units you micro here is like skirms, and you target them to target the CA. The rest is just patrols in, and that's it. So if it's a good fight, just patrol and let them fight. Don't try to like right click too much. That's a very good tip actually. I wouldn't ignore that one. At this point, we just hard win. Opponent's kind of getting clapped. Ballistics finally, nice. Yeah, GG. Pretty good. Pretty good, but like you're definitely losing a lot of these games because of the mid game disasters that happened. Yeah, I think we gave you some good tips on the scouts. That was very important. And we give you some good tips on going like for a castage follow-up. So I think we covered most of what I want to cover here, pretty much. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So best of luck out there. A lot of tips. Start with like 1 or 2 of them and then expand and maybe rewatch this a couple times. And best of luck out there on the rank ladder grind.